This is a situation where it's in 2018, November 30th, when the then government shut down Petrotrin. A number of officers had to be called out.
Roger Alexander cannot be trusted, a cry for justice from the shadows of power. In a just society, the integrity of law enforcement should be beyond reproach. But when the very people sworn to uphold the law manipulate it for their own ends, they not only betray the people, they desecrate the sacred trust that binds a nation together. The recent acquittal of Ken Foster is not just a legal outcome, it is a glaring indictment of former police officer and now Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander. It lays bare a truth too many have whispered and too few have dared to say aloud: Roger Alexander cannot be trusted. Let us not mince words. Ken Foster stood trial for his life. He was shot, charged, and almost buried under the weight of lies, inconsistencies, and tainted evidence. And at the center of it all was Roger Alexander. How can we trust a man whose case crumbled under the most basic scrutiny? Not one station diary note could support the officer's version of events. No official record. No accountability. In policing, that's equivalent to erasing the very footprints of truth. The chain of custody was broken, the same firearm, ammunition, and spent shells that supposedly linked Foster to the crime were marred by mishandling and unexplained changes in markings. Evidence tampered with. Evidence reshuffled. Evidence corrupted. This isn't sloppy police work, this is sabotage. The judge himself, Justice Hayden St Clair-Douglas, was left in disbelief. In his own words, "I am not sure the accused shot at anyone. I am not sure he was in possession of a firearm or ammunition." This is not ambiguity. This is doubt sown by deception. And most damning of all, the defense suggested that Foster was framed because he refused to become a tool of state power, to falsely accuse a reputed gang leader. In that moment, Foster became an enemy of convenience. And for that, he was shot, charged, and nearly caged. This is not justice. This is tyranny. Roger Alexander, then a constable, now a minister, had power in his hands. And the court has shown he abused it. His own testimony fell apart. His colleagues' stories were riddled with inconsistencies. Their statements were not just unreliable, they were orchestrated. This is not a man we can trust to uphold national security. This is not a man who should hold the fate of any citizen in his hands. If he was willing to bend the truth to fit his narrative as a police officer, what will he do now, armed with even more authority? This isn't about politics. This is about human dignity. About the lives that can be destroyed when power goes unchecked. It's about a young man who could have been lost to the prison system forever, not because he was guilty, but because he stood in the way of a fabricated story. Roger Alexander may sit in a minister's chair today, but the stain of this case follows him. The public must ask, how many other Ken Fosters are out there? How many people has he silenced, framed, or condemned with faulty evidence and unaccountable authority? To the people of Trinidad and Tobago, this is a call to vigilance. Power must be accountable. Justice must be transparent. And no one, no matter their title, should be allowed to rise above the law. Ken Foster walked free because the truth spoke louder than the lies. Let us never forget who tried to bury it.
This is a situation where it's in 2018, November 30th, when the then government shut down Petrotrin. A number of officers had to be called out.